really want to wash your vehicle, but you just don't have access to a hose? No problem. On today's episode, I'm going to show you the solution, and it's called the two-bucket method. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to another episode. I'm that car guy Tim, and today on the show, I'm going to show you the two-bucket method to washing your vehicle. Now, this is really handy if you don't have access to a hose. It's a nice day out and you just really want to wash your vehicle. Now, this is really simple. It's pretty much just car washing on the cheap. And here I have the Bubbles bucket and the bucket of shiny goodness. These are totally not branded buckets due to copyright and trademark and all that fun legal stuff. These are totally That Car Guy Tim buckets. See, it says That Car Guy Tim. But all you need really is two buckets, some car wash soap. In this case, we're going to use Auto Glim Bodywork Wash and Wax, and a wash mitt. Now these things, you can find them pretty much anywhere that you find your detailing supplies. This one I picked up a while ago. It's served me well for, almost 10 years now. The key with these things though is to always make sure that you wash them really good before you go for your next vehicle clean, because these trap dirt and dust and stuff that if you go back over your vehicle, it'll just scratch it, and that's not good. So make sure you wash it properly, take care of these properly, and if you take care of them, obviously they'll last you a very long time and they'll treat you really good. So all you need is two buckets, a wash mitt, some soap. Let's head outside and I'll show you how it's done. Alrighty, so obviously we have our two buckets, our bucket of soap and our bucket of clean water. Now we need something to dry it, and we need something to put into the clean water to get all the ickiness off. So we're going to throw those in there so they can get a nice soak, and we're going to use this as our drying cloth. So now obviously because it's a black truck, what we're going to do is we parked it in some shade, and we're going to dry it right away so we can avoid water spots. So let's get started. Alright, so let's move our buckets a little closer so we have something nice and easy to work with. So we're going to take our nice warm wash mitt that's been in our Auto Glim soap. Okay, and then obviously there's no big caked on dirt, just this little splashy stuff. If it's big and caked on, what you'll want to do is you'll want to take one of your wet cloths in the clean water and just get some of that off first, or just take another bucket with some clean water. Get that off first, that way you aren't smearing it around with this. So obviously I don't have any of that except for on the rim, so we're just going to get started. So just wipe it down. We're going to do one panel at a time, make our life just a little bit easier. And just like that, and you can really get in there with it. Don't be afraid, because we are washing. Okay, and another thing too is don't be afraid to dip it back in. Okay, get some fresh soap on there. Right, there we go, just like that. And nice and soapy, just like that. And make sure you get everywheres with it. There we go. Perfect. So now we're going to swap out for our clean cloths. Our clean water cloth. Just like that, right? The trick with this is don't wring it out before you put it on your truck, before you wipe down your truck, because you want all that water. And just wipe all those suds away. just like that. Okay. Now, pardon the scratches and that. It's not a pavement princess. If you've seen the videos on this channel before, you know this is not a pavement princess. So now we're going to take our drying cloth. Okay. If it wants to. There we go. Okay, we're going to dry it off. Just like that. So we can avoid water spots. Just like that. See how easy it is? You don't need to spend a fortune to have a clean vehicle. All you need is maybe two $5 5-gallon buckets, a couple cloths, some soap, and you're good to go. Now obviously I'm using Autoglym. It's a bit of a fancier brand. You can use whatever car soap you have, just make sure it is car soap. I'll be doing some more budget stuff as time goes on, but for right now we're just going to stick with Autoglym because I'm going to show you just how great a result Autoglym gives you. Okay, so that's that. Now look at that. That is one panel out of maybe a dozen panels of a clean vehicle. So let's do the rest of the instruction. When I drive around with just one clean front fender. The nice thing about this method of washing your vehicle is it's not a risk to get your door sills, right? Because those get dirty too. So let's do the door sills. Now this method I always use to do the door sills because I hate spraying inside my truck, because no matter how hard you try, you're always going to get something inside your truck, and that's just one more reason for rust to start and mold and all that other stuff. So let's tackle this just like so. Look how easy this is, right? And we're not getting anything inside the truck. Look at that. Okay, don't forget about your B-pillar too. That is important as well. Let's do a complete clean on this. And make sure you stay tuned for future episodes too, because we will be tackling interior cleaning hacks too. So make sure you click that subscribe button. Okay, now it's time for the rinse cycle. So we're gonna wring this out a little bit, otherwise we're gonna have a tsunami inside our truck. So let's start wiping this down. Okay, just like that. And it's a good idea actually to do this before you do the exterior of the truck. That way we're not getting soap on the outside. Now we got to rewash the outside. So it's a good idea to do this before you get it done and out of the way. And it's always a good idea to have a second drying cloth on hand just in case this one gets too wet, which it most likely will get too wet. So it's always a good idea to have a second one of these hanging around. We'll dry our door just like that. All right, voila, nice and clean all around. And like I said, make sure you click subscribe, because in future episodes we're going to tackle the interior, because this interior needs it. It's a work truck. It's going to get dirty. Vehicles get dirty. So I'm going to show you some really easy, affordable ways to tackle the interior. But let's keep going. There we go. Well, that's one side of the truck done. This is a very cost-effective, fun, easy way to clean your vehicle, and no annoying timer telling you to put more money in. You don't have to put any money in. Just buy your chemicals and your cloths, your buckets, and you're good to go. So this is a very fun way. That's a great way too. You can always get the little ones involved too, and teach them how to take care of a vehicle. Well, at least one way to take care of a vehicle. So that's this side done. I'm not going to worry about the wheel wells or the tires, because well, quite frankly, they're too dirty for this method for me to comfortably do. One thing I would recommend though, if you do want to do your rims and your fender wells at the same time, I would leave those till last. That way you don't pick anything up from the dirtiest parts of your vehicle and start scraping it all over your paint. So I'd highly recommend you do those last. But let's go to the other side and we will finish up washing the truck. So now it is time to tackle the tailgate. Now, one thing really important to remember is always get the top. Now, what I mean by that is open your tailgate and get the sill, because that's dirty too, and you want a clean vehicle. So let's do it. Now, one big part of a vehicle is the badging. Now, the badging can always be a bit of a tricky thing to get in and clean, but with these wash mitts, with these little little hair things, they get in there really good and get all nice and clean in there. So that is absolutely no worries. I'm getting those nice and shiny. That's always a fun part, is just poop. Remember, don't shy away from using that clean water. Don't forget, sometimes it's a good idea to go back in, dump this, go back in, and you can always get fresh, clean water. Never hurts. I know there's some people that after every panel they'll go in and get a fresh bucket of clean water. So like I said at the start, I do this in the shade because my truck is black, and black shows a lot, and it loves showing water spots, and this water is hard. It likes to show, it likes to spot. So I always make sure to do a really good job of drying it. A little bit left over is okay, as long as it's not too much that it's going to spot. There's water spots, even with the best of chemicals, they're hard to remove, especially on black. if you haven't seen my video of where I tell you about my thoughts about the color black on my truck, make sure you check that out. I'll link it up above. There's that little card that's displaying right now as I'm talking. You can go open up in a new window, finish watching this video, and then go watch that one. So let's head on back inside. See, it's nice and easy, and you get really good results. Now, if you have a bigger vehicle, kind of like me, you can always do one panel, dry it, and then come back in, get some fresh water, go back out and tackle, I don't know, maybe the 2 doors or whatever suits your fancy, really. It's a method that is extremely flexible, extremely cheap, extremely affordable, and a great way to get a clean car with no access to a hose. But that is it for today's episode. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. Really appreciate it. And hey, hit that subscribe button, give this thing a like, and share it with your buddies. Really appreciate it. If you like what you saw, make sure you check out this episode here, and you can always click that button there to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. Have fun. Get her done.